right, let's go ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. It is April 17th. Welcome to Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. I'm Aaron Mays. I represent District 3, and I am currently serving as chair. On my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, representing District 2. We've got our county councilor, Rich Eckert, on my far right, and then on my left is Lisa Schmidt, our county clerk.
Good morning.
Good morning to all of you. One item before we get started on the consent agenda, item M will need to be removed from the agenda. We've got some modifications that need to be made to that contract still, so we'll take it up at a future meeting. So, having said that, first item, please.
All right. First item is item 3, consent agenda.
I would move that we approve all of the consent agenda except item M, which is being pulled.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays and a second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 2-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business. A, county clerk. 1, consider all voucher payments.
This morning we have vouchers that total $4,181,185.33. Highlights out of that voucher report. We have allocations going out to Housing and Credit Counseling, Jayhawk Area Agency on Aging, Meals on Wheels, Positive Connections, PARS, the Fair Association, and Habitat for Humanity. That was $135,250. We have $292,310 going to TLG Operations for 2 2024 rear loading refuse trucks, and that was paid out of the Solid Waste Fund. We have $113,383.47 to Consolidated Rural Water District Number 1 for a progress payment on the water line relocation for the road improvement project at Southwest Auburn Road, which is 29th to K4, paid out of the Infrastructure Fund. $296,044.72 to Rainbow of Heartland. This is the final payment for the modular sports floor at the Stormont Vale Event Center. This is paid out of the Equipment Fund. $359,513.56 to King Construction Company Incorporated for progress payment on the bridge at Northwest 35th Street over the tributary to Soldier Creek. This is paid out of the Bridge Project Fund. $110,430 to Southern Folger Contracting for the installation of 18 sliding doors for the Department of Corrections, and that is paid out of the Building and Maintenance Fund. I don't have any issues with the vouchers and would move for their approval.
All right, what's second? So we have a motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 2-0. Next item, please.
2, consider correction orders.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 2-0. Next item, please.
B, Department of Corrections. 1, consider approval for 1 employee to attend a virtual mental health first aid instructor certification training at a cost of $2,200 to be paid from the detention budget and authorization of contract C 159-2025 Education and Training Expense Agreement for the same.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Phelps, Department of Corrections. As part of us getting ourselves prepared to move into the new behavioral health modules, we are setting up a training program to enhance the sensitivity to behavioral health issues, and this training will allow us to get a trainer prepared to get the staff prepared. So that's what that item is about. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions?
I don't.
No, this is actually something that NACO has been trying to push at a national level for all county departments, and so it's good to see us kind of getting started in this direction. So I would make a motion that we approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 2-0. Next item, please.
2, consider approval of contract C160-2025 with IDEMIA for annual maintenance of 2 detention facility fingerprint machines at a cost of $5,835 to be paid from the detention budget.
Tim Phelps, Department of Corrections, this is an annual item that we have. I think the machines, the latest version of the machines was put in 2019. So it looks like we're going into our 5th year of service. And we'll continue that annually because we never know when we're going to have to just trade them out because of modification. So that's what this item is.
Okay, any questions?
I'll move for approval.
I will second. Got a motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 2-0. Next item, please.
Item B3, consider approval of contract C161-2025 with Jayhawk Fire and Sprinkler Company Incorporated, a 5-year agreement for annual inspection of detention facility sprinkler systems at a first-year cost of $3,200 with 5% annual increases and a one-time inspection of piping system at a cost of $4,160 to be paid from the detention budget.
Tim Phelps, Department of Corrections. This is a requirement that we have so that we can pass the fire marshal inspections that we have annually. We have to make sure our sprinkler system is operational and doesn't have any breaches in the piping. So we've been using Jayhawk for some time and we've been very successful with them. So I'll be happy to answer any of the questions.
Questions?
No.
All right, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 2-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
C, Health Department. 1, consider approval of contract C162-2025, a local health department mosquito surveillance agreement with funding from the KDHE Bureau of Epidemiology and Public Health Informatics to support mosquito surveillance in Shawnee County from June 1st, 2025 through August 17th, 2025 for a total of $6,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Teresa Fisher, Director of the Health Department. This is our 7th year that I'm coming before you to ask to enter into an agreement with KDHE to allow us to do mosquito surveillance here in Shawnee County. This year we'll have 6 different locations that will be trapped. Our staff will do the trappings and pick them up, and then KDHE will do the analysis. Happy to answer any questions you have about this contract.
Questions?
So right now, we are between the people that would I can never say, the epi people.
Yes, the epidemiologist.
Thank you. We're between that position at this time, so we would not have anybody on staff that would be doing the analysis. It's going to be done by the state.
Correct.
Okay. But we are able to set the traps and do the collections and whatnot.
Yes, our environmental health staff will do that as they traditionally have.
Okay. And then from that, I mean, what's the point of it?
Sure, yeah. Looking at what type of mosquitoes that we have, if there should be something that's of significance that we would need to alert the public to. Again, it's about messaging preventative measures that we can have. So if you remember, we've done the Dump Day campaign. There's a possibility that we'll bring back some of that. So as in public health, a lot of our efforts are also about messaging and making the public educated on these different issues.
I don't have any other questions.
Okay, nor do I, so I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 2-0. Thank you. Next item, please.
D, Noxious Weed Department. 1, consider a request to close the Account Clerk 2 position and request to create and fill a classified non-exempt Office Manager 1 position at an annual salary including benefits of no less than $62,182.25.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Landon, Director of the Weed Department. As Mr. Smith said, what our intentions are here, I thought I'd run through a little bit of the duties that this new office manager position is going to do that's versus a normal account clerk. As everyone knows, we're such a small office, and so basically, that person runs that entire office as the guys are out doing the applications and I'm out doing the enforcement. that leaves that person there to do all the customer service, sales, inventory control, order copy and paper, ordering all the supplies for everything it takes to run that office. And so we just felt that it wasn't duties that were account clerk 2 duties, as we're asking them to run a forklift and load a sprayer in the back of a truck. And so that's the reason why I'm here, Commissioners, is to ask to close that position, the account clerk 2 position, and open up an office manager position. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, any questions?
Nope, I would move for approval.
I'll second. Motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 2-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, John. Next item.
E, Public Works. 1, consider a request to reject bid in relation to a culvert replacement project on Southeast Barrington Road over a tributary to Lynn Creek, and to resolicit bids for construction at a later date when the availability of contractors is more advantageous to Shawnee County.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. Yes, a week ago Monday, April 7th, we had a bid letting on a project on Southeast Barrington Road near Southeast 69th. If you recall, that project involves the replacement of 3 culverts and a little bit of paving work. We received a single bid, which was approximately $500,000 higher than the engineer's estimate. It came out to approximately 27% increase, which is well above the 10% allowed by state statute. So I'm here before you asking you to reject the bid. We will try again. I think our plan right now is to let the project again very soon, but give a start date between late this year and early next year when the contractors are better able to do the work. I look forward to your questions.
Questions for Kurt?
Delaying the project, are there going to be any safety concerns to the people that are traveling on these roads?
No, don't believe so.
Okay. So we're not needing to shut down any roads or restrict road travel?
Nope.
Okay. And then the bigger picture from this, I mean, if you drive around the state, the county, the city, there is road construction at literally every level and constantly changing routes. Is this an indicator that right now there's just too much construction going on and they're just too busy? And we need to wait till some projects end?
That's exactly what's happening. All the contractors are already booked up for the year. And so that's why when we relet the project, we will have a start date either late this year, maybe the 4th quarter of 2025 into February of 2026, because we're hoping at that time the availability of appropriate contractors is better.
And this is not a project that we could do in-house with our own crew and staff?
No, this is way too large for that.
Okay. What does this mean for future projects for Public Works in Shawnee County? Are there other projects that we may look on, maybe holding back on, or re-evaluating the timeline on, that are maybe not yet in process?
Well, we have a bridge on Jordan Road coming up that's at the kind of the north end of the community of Wakarusa. We're going to use the same strategy there. We're going to wait for a letting late this year. We had a letting Monday, that's just this past Monday, on the culvert at Lake Javaro. We received 0 bids, and so we're going to delay a start date. We'll probably relet that similar to Barrington Road and have a late start date for this year. We're hoping at some point, as contractors finish these present projects for 2025, and they're looking ahead to, hey, what kind of work's available to us over the winter of 25-26, or what's available to us starting in 26, they'll be available to bid on our projects. It's just one of the nature of the situation we've got right now. We've got an upswing in construction work in the area. I mean, that's obvious. At some point, that work will complete and things will be better.
Kurt, would there be any benefit to bundling those 2 box culverts together?
Well, we're in a sense hoping to do that. We're not doing it legally or contractually, but we're hoping the contractor that works on the Barrington Road project will also be available to work on the Southeast 37th job at Lake Javaro. So we're thinking the same way you are. We're just not going ahead and combining the 2 projects.
Okay. And then this is the one right by the elementary school,
That's
right?
correct,
Okay.
yeah. And, originally what we wanted to do is we wanted to avoid as much work, we wanted to place as much work as possible over the summer break. I think with the contractor situation right now, we're not going to be able to do that.
And I think that's going to be a frustration for the folks out there, especially the school buses. Because literally the elementary school is right there on that corner.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be a concern. So, okay, well, I don't think we have much of a choice but to reject these bids now, and hopefully we can figure this out.
Yep.
Before we depart on
Yeah.
this, Kurt.
Yes, yes, sir.
Last year, when we were working on Northwest 46th Street, the roundabout at 75 Highway, the reason why our contractor maybe got behind was they were working on other projects. Are we seeing any of that in current road construction projects that our contractors are overextended and not able to do work on our projects because they're trying to balance out work on other projects?
At the present time, we're still kind of early in the construction season. I see no indication where our contractors will struggle to complete the work they're obligated to do.
Because from a public perception standpoint, myself included, one of the most frustrating things is when you see a perfectly beautiful day and road construction that is not going on, even though the barriers are up and you're wondering, why is there no construction work going on? And it can be a number of things, including they're waiting for concrete to cure or they're working on other projects.
Yeah, for example, on 46th Street project, they've done quite a bit of grading in the area of the roundabout. But things that probably haven't been seen by the public is they put in a culvert. And so work is progressing. It's just not as visible as maybe placing concrete pavement.
I always thought maybe having a little chart that you add a bar to every time you get a project done so the public can see that it's moving closer to the top. And so, because again, it's the public perception, you just don't know everything that's going on in a construction. So, anyway, thank you, Kurt.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make a motion to reject the bid.
I'll second. Motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 2-0. Thank you, Kurt. Next item, please.
I did not see anybody signed up for public comment,
I don't
correct?
have anyone signed up.
All right, that takes us to item 6, administrative communications.
Any administrative communications today? I see one.
Good morning again, Commissioners. John Landon, Director of the Weed Department. Just to let the public know, we have a full line of chemical in stock, ready to go. Our rental sprayers are up and running and have been in full swing. Just a little note for that, we do not take reservations for the rental sprayers. However, we will hold it for you till you arrive if you call us and check for availability. We don't want you to drive from North Topeka to get to our facility just to have us send them out. They are very popular. We have 15 of them and they stay out all the time and multiple times a day. So with that, that's all I have. So.
John, you want to just give us a quick update on what you're seeing this year so far?
Oh, lots and lots of honeysuckle. So again, I anticipate that ruling and that will come down sometime this year as it's in the legislature past the Secretary of Ag. That's going to be a tough one for us to try to battle, just simply because of our chemicals that we can use on honeysuckle during the growing season are also very harmful on all your good trees. And when I say good trees, I talk about oaks and walnuts, things that you really care about. A lot of people don't care about elms and wish they would die, but so it's going to be a very touchy situation when you're trying to spray those chemicals there. As I said in our state report, Shawnee County has an issue with Cerisa. It's kind of started south and north and is meeting us here in the middle. And so we need a lot of help from the public to treat that stuff on your property. I anticipate that enforcement will step up on that to try to slow that curve down a little bit. Johnson grass is kind of taking over a little bit too, a little easier for us. But thistles, the day of thistles are they're kind of out the window. They're not as important as they used to be. With Thistles being a biennial plant and only living 2 years, they're easy to control. And so now we're focusing on Sarisa. So those are the things to look out for. Chemicals, surprisingly, as he stood at the podium and told you guys, things are holding steady on pricing, which is very shocking. We haven't seen any increases and haven't been alerted to anything coming down the line that with the tariffs and all that stuff going on, that there will be an increase. That's great news for everybody.
Yeah.
As the product's made within the United States, but the active ingredient comes from overseas. And so the warehouses are still full. So costs didn't go up that much, and some costs went down. So I believe we're sitting pretty good. So
Now, the honeysuckle, the stuff to treat that, don't you have to have an applicator's license to get it?
there are several. One of the ones that you can treat it with, Tordon, is a restricted use herbicide. You do have to have an applicator's license to do that. That's not pushed very much. We don't push it as much because it does have a residual that stays in the soil. And so it stays in the soil for about 6 months. There's so many conditions. You have to stay away from anything that's holding water or has a low high water table, sandy soils, things like that. So Tordon is tough to use. There's an alternative out there called Milestone. Milestone's an aminopyrrolid product, safer than Tordon. I'm going to give you the huge schooling on weeds today.
Let's do it.
So it's aminopyrrolid product. It's safer than Tordon. You can actually spray it up to water's edge. Still holds the residual into the ground, but is a great product. Problem is very expensive. But the good news about that, as opposed to something that you're using 8, 10, or 12 ounces to the acre on, with a Milestone product, you're using 3, 5, and 7. So as that price increase, the rate goes down, it actually becomes cost effective. The other things that's on the pipe for the new weeds that are added to the list is common and cut leaf teasel. That's a right-of-way issue, kind of mainly on KDOT's road, and that's a timing deal on when they mow. They're spreading that with the mowers. It's not a county-wide problem. Very easy plant to take care of. The leaves are more cupped around the stem, and so they hold the chemical in like a glass. And so you get a little in there and it holds it and kills the plant pretty easy. So, the battle goes on and some are easy and some are hard.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Commissioner. Have a great day.
Hope everybody's taking notes. I'm always battling those weeds.
I think that calls for a work session, probably. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. I just wanted to announce to the commissioners and everybody that we will have our graduation for our academy tomorrow. We will have approximately 20 employees that will graduate, and we'll get them back into the workforce. With them being out, overtime has gone up just a hair, but when you pull 20 employees off the floor to a 4-week academy, but it's been very good, and just want to let you know that if you do plan on being there, that the parking is on the east side and to enter from the side, because the back you cannot get in anymore. So.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Commissioner Cook?
You might notice that we have representatives from the ambulance service as well as emergency management and public works in the audience today. We had received an email earlier this week from a constituent that was concerned that the county, when they start road construction projects, doesn't work with emergency management and our ambulance service on planning routes and how we would respond. And so we anticipated that this individual was going to be here for public comment. The public's always able to comment at the county commission meetings. This person did not appear today, but since we have the representatives here, I would just ask Kurt, do we work with, and I would just ask you to come up, when we do a road construction project, are we working with our partners with emergency management in ambulance and fire and how we would respond if there was an emergency? Just to put that issue to rest.
Yeah, good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Neos, Director of Public Works. Well, first of all, Nelson and I are constantly talking. I mean, when we see each other at commission meetings or other events, What do we talk about? Transportation projects. So I know our emergency management folks, they're aware of our projects when they're coming up. Also, Amanda does a great job of putting out press releases, and I believe the emergency response people receive those releases. And as far as 46th Street goes, let's not forget, we had a map that showed 2 detours, multiple routes. Emergency management obviously has the ability to use those alternate routes just like the public does. So yes, to answer your question, I think, do we sit down and look at a project in intimate detail about how emergency management's going to respond in this area, or this area? No. But I know we communicate either directly or indirectly on our projects.
So the Public Works is working with and communicating with ambulance and emergency management, and so that our partners are well aware of what alternative routes we have.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe so.
So that's all. I just wanted to put that to rest, that we're not just out doing projects willy-nilly. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
As always, if you wish to comment to the public, you're always able to come at the county commission, and all you have to do is just state your name and what your position is. So that's all I have for today.
Okay, nothing from me. Next item, please.
Item 7, executive sessions.
We do not have a need for executive session today, so we are adjourned.